Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with our quarterfinals here at the 2018 Gibraltar Darts Trophy. We welcome to the stage a two-time European Tour finalist. He's the former Players' Championship Finals winner, the Asset, Paul Nicholson! Bring to the stage a UK Open and World Cup of Darts finalist, a winner of 2 Players' Championship titles, the Iceman, Gerwyn Price!
The world number 1 is in the semi-finals. The unseeded Steve West is in the semi-finals. We now turn our attention to the other half of the draw, and there is a very real chance we could see 2 more unseeded players making it to the penultimate stage of the tournament, because Adrian Lewis, despite being a titan of this sport, had to come through the qualifiers to be here. He takes on Peter Snakebite Wright, a 6-time Euro Tour winner and the number 3 seed here. Gerwyn Price, the Welsh number 1, is the number 14 seed, but Paul Nicholson is another player who had to come through the qualifiers to be here. He can count himself a little bit fortunate that Joe Cullen missed match darts against him, but the Asset is in a ranking quarter-final for the first time in more than 3 years. He has rebuilt himself. It is a renaissance for Paul Nicholson. Like the $6 million man. We can rebuild him. We have the technology. He's just 1 step away from the semis, 2 steps away from claiming a title. 7 years to the day from when he won his last one. Chris Murphy joins me, Dan Dawson, in the commentary box. It is the Iceman, Gerwyn Price, versus the Asset, Paul Nicholson. Could be a feisty affair. It would have been a feisty affair if this was old Nicholson.
Yeah, it certainly would have been, and I think it will be a similar kind of match to the one that he earned his spot here with.
Going to throw first. Game on.
Beating Joe Cullen, a similar type of opponent. Yeah, perhaps a little bit more aggressive, Gerwyn Price, and he'll let Paul Nicholson know when he produces a big visit. Probably not on this occasion.
77.
This is like the sort of peacock quarter of the draw, isn't it?
It is. We've got, as you alluded to, 2 titans of the sport in the next quarter-final, but I think this could be a titan.
60.
And Paul Nicholson, yeah, I mean, he beat Dave Chisnell, didn't he? In the pre-match discussion, a lot of us were saying, yeah, we fancy his chances there, but against Joe Cullen, all right, he survived match start. Price pummels in the first match and does let Nicholson know about it. Barry Bates cheering him on, fellow Welshman. Against Joe Cullen, Cullen was more of a form horse than Dave Chisnell. And Nicholson, he had to be there to punish those
100.
Yeah, well, with Chizzy is incredible when he's on, but he's been very hit and miss. And you always think, if it's a miss day, Nicholson had a chance. With Cullen, he has been so consistent on the European Tour, particularly in the 2nd and 3rd rounds, that you felt that his chances were slimmer.
Yeah, and Paul Nicholson has shown, and did show during that match, moments of bottle that seemed to be a thing of the past, and we knew that he had that in his
60.
locker because he produced it many times. Nicholson has won twice the amount of PDC titles as his opponent here, 4, including a big one, the Players' Championship, where he showed plenty of that bottle. But
58.
even this year, when he got himself in a great position to reach the final day of the European Tour and played Benito van der Pas, he crumbled before our eyes, didn't he? The next one, he took on Mervyn King and then did that, moved into the final day. This time around, in the final day again, has taken another step forward.
Another one there.
88. All you require 141.
Well, this would demonstrate a bit of bottle.
Peter Wright, in the final game of the afternoon session, started off his win against Chris Dobie with a 1-4-1 checkout. Nicholson's not going to do the same here.
125.
Back.
You require 40.
For Price.
And shot the
And
first
Cox
leg.
is going for Price.
Second leg gets pulled to throw first.
Are good for Gerwin.
Game on.
Another sign that is good for Gerwin is the fact that he has beaten Nicholson every time he's played him, all 4 times. The only person that Gerwin Price has a better
140.
record against is a Dutchman, Dirk van Duivenbode. He's beaten him 5 out of 5. Paul Nicholson, the only player he has a worse record against than Gerwin Price is a Dutchman. It's not Dirk van Duivenbode. It's Raymond van Barneveld, who he's lost all
23.
10 encounters.
You know, the asset has got a lot of respect for Raymond van Barneveld. He's got a lot of respect for most of his opponents, although he didn't always show it in his former days. Before this
57.
new incarnation.
Well, he talked about it this weekend. He's talked about trying to be a calmer dart player. And you do see him. He goes through the
85.
breathing techniques and he will slow things down. And he will try to just focus. And he doesn't care about that putting extra pressure on himself because he is, you know, for want of a better phrase, a
91.
bottle player. He's very much in the sort of James Wade mould. You don't associate James Wade and Paul Nicholson with smashing in loads of 180s and averaging 110. You don't associate that with it. They can do it. We know they can do it. But that's not their natural game that you think of when you think of them. You think about them taking out checkouts under pressure where you get 1 dart at a double and it has to go and it does
139.
when they're playing their best stuff.
Nicholson sees this very much as a free roll now. He's achieved perhaps more than was expected of him when he arrived here. But it is an extremely winnable match for Paul Nicholson, playing one of the
59.
lowest seed, the second lowest seed in the tournament, Gerwin Price.
$134.
That just puts a
All you
little bit
require,
more pressure on this
154.
154. Gerwin Price has left himself a combination that would culminate in that double top that he's just hit.
$140.
Very
Going you require
nearly a
120.
stunner.
Well, Nicholson couldn't hit double top. And Gerwin Price has a chance to hit it again and hit Nicholson right where it hurts.
80.
Same
All you
outcome.
require 40.
Can Paul punish?
He
Shot
can.
the second leg. Paul Nicholson.
We have a level game.
Legacy
Now, the
Gerwin
Joe
throw
Cullen
first,
match,
game
which
on.
was just absorbing from the very first dart. We saw him and Cullen
54.
trading blows right the way through the game. There was never a big gap between them at all. And it could not have been tighter. Cullen missing darts. He had 3 clear darts from double top in the final leg to win it. Nicholson had already missed a match dart.
100.
Scraped through by the narrowest of margins, and it would not surprise you if we saw a
58.
very tight encounter here as well. Gerwin Price averaged 91 against Mike DeDecker in his opening game. It was a very decent 98 against Jermaine Watermainer. And that's a very decent visit from Paul Nicholson. Nicholson saw off the Gibraltarian qualifier Anthony Lopez convincingly 6-0. It was only a mid-80s average, but that's all it needed to be. But since then, he's been in the mid-90s in the averages. They've been playing at a similar kind of standard.
He's launching an assault here on the Price throw. That maximum put Paul Nicholson in pole position.
100.
And there was a fantastic 1-2-1 checkout, was there not, against Joe Cullen at this stage of the game, I think, to break the throw, if I recall right.
140.
Certainly a clutch finish from Nicholson under pressure.
Well, let's see if he can play it again. Complete it again. He won't go for the treble. He doesn't see the points. It's almost the same spot as the previous one.
96.
It's not quite a case of
starting
starting deja vu. Owen Price had a rather big bottle checkout in his match this afternoon too, didn't he? The biggest that you can land.
93.
Yeah, the 170 checkout against Jermaine Watermainer. Phenomenal. Guarantee you won't see a bigger checkout tonight. Ever.
Well, this could be big in a different context.
Yeah, shot on the third leg. Paul Nicholson.
Huge potentially for Paul Nicholson.
Game on.
Because that was a break of throw. Now, you mentioned, Dan, at the start of this match that this is Paul Nicholson's first ranking quarter-final since February 2014.
Yes, it's more than 4 years, in fact.
His last semi-final of any kind, you said also, is to the day 7 years since his last title. His last semi-final of any kind was 8th of June 2014 at the World Cup of Darts. So this time of year seeming to hold some good memories for Paul Nicholson. That was in the World Cup, of course, with Simon Whitlock when he was a consistent. They were a consistent pairing at the World Cup, having reached a final a couple of years prior to that. But the last time he reached a semi-final, a ranking semi-final, he'd got to go back over 5 years. That was in Wigan in 2013. He went on to reach a final. In fact,
137.
He reached 3 finals in a short space of time there. 2 of them on the European tour.
And you know what? We've talked already this weekend a number of times about the various tiers of darts there are. The development tour, the challenge tour. As Nicholson is having a bit of a shocker in this leg. Not able to consolidate this break of throw as things stand. And how, say, the challenge tour has helped rejuvenate the careers of players such as Wayne Jones, Michael Barnard, guys who've dropped off the tour, and it's given them regular competitive darts, and it's allowed them to get back to playing really top-level darts that allows them to compete with the biggest names in the world. Now, Paul Nicholson hasn't done that. He's had a lot of time just not playing because of injury and all sorts of stuff.
95.
But he's been struggling consistently on the tour for quite a while.
55.
Well, what he did do was go back to Q school, didn't he? And he said that really gave him a new lease of life. The confidence that he went. He won his tour card. His first trip back to Q school. And he did it on the final day by winning that day's event, even though he probably didn't need to go.
No,
he felt that was important.
Yeah, he'd got enough points by that point.
To leave a venue and not be beaten that day.
Yeah, shot on the fourth leg. Going Price.
Is he going to be beaten today?
Mid leg is going to throw first.
Owen Price breaks back.
I almost feel that with the calendar as it is, there are more events than ever. You've got the Challenge Tour and the Development Tour.
50.
And there is so much opportunity now, more than ever, for competitive action against very, very good dart players. Obviously on the main tour, the best dart players in the world. That it does kind of mean that players who do go on the slide, whereas in previous years, you may never see them again. You may not. I mean, you look at some of the huge names who have slipped out of the game and just gone. I mean, former world #1 Colin Lloyd. Never really recovered from the slide that he experienced.
When you look around that time that we're talking about, prior to that, Andy Hamilton, Wes Newton, they were all in that same kind of vein as Paul Nicholson, if not better, both got in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Hamilton a beaten World Championship finalist in 2012.
Two-time major finalist, Wes Newton. A whole host of PDC titles, Wes.
180.
Not many recover from losing that confidence, that belief that they're one of the best in the world. Nicholson appears to be staging a kind of recovery, a kind of renaissance, and that takes enormous reserves of
100.
determination and character.
Speak about someone that seemingly came from nowhere and picked up a PDC title this year. Nicholson's last ranking quarter-final victory was against Mickey Mansell.
56. All you require 170.
Now then, this is a shot that he knows all about. It's also one that Gerwyn Price has taken out today.
Wrong side of the wire.
Still, he's left himself
135. Going to require 170.
handily placed for a break back, but a strange choice to stay there. However, Gerwyn Price wants to do it again, and he might.
Oh, very nearly twice in a day.
134.
Shrugs his shoulders. It's a decent lead for
35.
Gerwyn Price. Now, Paul Nicholson there, I was wondering why he'd gone for the treble 20 last start. Well, he'd evidently decided he'd gone for the 19s, he would have split it anyway. So he's going to split it, and he liked the lie, so it looks like a sensible decision. But he has to make it work.
Well, very similar to that 25 shot on double eights.
Game shot on the fifth
Exactly
leg.
the same
Paul
outcome
Nicholson.
from Paul Nicholson.
Sixth leg is Paul to throw first.
His gutsy stuff
Game on.
from the Aussie ace. And once again, he gets himself back in pole position, and just saw there Paul Nicholson just calming himself down. He's become his kind of own coach, hasn't he, Paul Nicholson, on the stage?
Very much. He's a self-made man, if you like. He's got an agent, a manager.
60.
But when it comes to the darts, I mean, he talks about modelling himself on Gary Anderson. It's a great, you know, not in how he throws or anything, just in how he wants his career to pan out.
180.
Third 180 for Gerwyn Price.
It's interesting this, isn't it? Nicholson keeps edging in front, but Gerwyn Price keeps charging back.
Well, it's so many parallels with the Cullen game at the minute, isn't it? One that he was ultimately victorious in, but had to survive match darts.
134. $60.
Unlucky visit. Cutting the 180 in half, you might say.
He might. Oh.
80.
I was going to say, very often this weekend, Paul Nicholson has made great use of the marker darts. The first dart high in the treble or above the treble, and often the next, at least one of the next couple has
91.
followed. He did on that occasion, but he suffered a bit of bad fortune, and look what Gerwyn Price has left again here.
Well, Nicholson will be on a finish if that 60 had stayed in.
It should be now. It might be the same one as Gerwyn.
57. Going to require 170.
For the second leg running, they're both on 170.
Well, last time it was this man who got a dart at the bullseye. Can Paul Nicholson try and dish out a dose?
58.
Of Price's own medicine here.
70.
Could it be a tale of two big fish? One that got away and one that was reeled in. No, it couldn't.
$28.
Paul
Going to
Nicholson
require
faltering.
112.
Price leaving tops.
72. All you require 100.
Well, he could put that right, Paul Nicholson, but it's much harder than it should have been. Probably use a 25 now.
$84. Going to require 40.
Price looking to peg him back once again. A couple of times. Nicholson's got a crucial break. Last time, Price punished. But this time, a let off and a chance 58. For Paul Nicholson to get some breathing space.
Gerwyn Price started this match by pinning double top no bother, but it has not really been there for him for the rest of this game. That's a shocker, and he laughs it off. And that, well, he's got a chance here. I mean, he's had two poor darts, missing the big number, but the fact that he's fluked it into the double means he's actually got a decent double here, and Paul Nicholson could win a vitally crucial leg in this match and in his career.
Double 18 for the funniest finish of the week. Literally laughable.
7 leg is going to throw first. Game on.
Insult to injury for the Welsh number 1.
60.
Calm yourself, Dan. Gerwyn Price does not see the funny side, I'm sure.
Look.
Crestfallen in the background, Gerwyn Price, and who can blame him?
The darts pyramid, as you well know, Murphy, at the bottom 100. It is bad darts. We don't want bad darts. Good darts is above that. Good darts is better than bad darts, but at the top of the pyramid, the very best is funny darts, and that's what we had there. That's good darts.
180. $125.
Kind of surprised that Paul Nicholson switched from the 18 in the first place over to the 14, which is what he was aiming for. He scored 18
90.
Somehow by landing double 9, but having just slipped into the 4 going for 18, had he done that again, it'd have been a dart at the bullseye. I mean, it ended up better for Paul Nicholson, didn't it? But a couple of horrendous attempts at single numbers. Got the double that counted. And it could be the pivotal moment in this match.
Well, yeah, but not just this match. I mean, that one leg, that one visit, that one ridiculous visit could prove pivotal in this match, in this tournament, in Paul Nicholson's career.
In my chances of covering the European Tour for many years to come.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Well, 74 for Gerwyn Price to close the gap to a solitary leg once again.
Can he find double top? It's not been good for Gerwyn Price, apart from leg 1, and it continues to elude him.
All you require 40.
We thought this could be tight, and that Nicholson was up for the fight. It could end up being an absolute cruise. Well, at least the scoreline might suggest so.
8-legged Paul to throw first. Game on.
Gerwyn Price needs to win 4 legs on the spin. He is only averaging a bit less than 93. Still more than Nicholson, but it does not matter.
140.
Final dart just deflected. Could have been a max there for Paul Nicholson. Price has to at least stay with him at every turn here.
140.
Nicholson's got the darts in this leg, and he'll get them again if he fails to win it.
And what did we say at the start of this game about Paul Nicholson being a kind of James Wade type player, in that if he's got a check out, he might only have 1 dart left, it's got to go,
93.
Needs to take it out. And this game, yeah, all right, the 58 checkout was ridiculous, but he got 1 dart, it had to go, it went. There's the 25 checkout,
95.
Last dart, it went. There was a 35 checkout, last dart, it went. Real pressure darts, and Paul Nicholson has stood up to the test.
All weekend, especially today, Paul Nicholson has had little bits of luck, but you then have to
58.
take advantage. Nicholson's done that. He looks like he might well be on the brink.
46.
The first semi-final appearance since 2013.
He beat the most high profile of the Gibraltarian qualifiers in the first round. He beat the number 10 seed Dave Chisnell, the number 7 seed Joe Cullen. He has the number 15 seed Goin Price on the rack. That is a horrendous visit from him, though.
Might just pay the price.
140.
But do you have confidence that Goin Price is going to take that 80 out? I'm not so sure. He's 20% on his doubles, and double top has not been working for him since leg 1. And Nicholson, if he leaves himself handy, his doubling has been good.
137. Going to require 80.
Down to whether or not Goin Price has confidence. He's gone for a couple of double tops. And he might have just hindered himself here. He's having to move across the hockey. And that is a rather bizarre attempt. But it's worked.
On the 8th leg.
He's pulled it off.
9th leg is going to throw first. Game on.
Not sure about that. Worked on this occasion, but we see this. I think one of the players that employs that tactic, we saw it a few times in the Premier League, is Simon Whitlock, and the amount of times that he completely blocked the target by trying to go that way.
42.
Well, you get the feeling Goin, he seems quite a stubborn individual as well. When he knows he keeps missing tops right the way through the game, the target that he loves the most when it comes to winning legs. And he's left himself 80. He's almost trying to prove it to himself. Oh, I'll have 2 of them. That'll show you.
140.
Let that little red bit at the top of the board know who's boss.
Well, that's a good response from Paul Nicholson, because he had a really dodgy visit in the previous leg. That opened the door for Price to do what he did.
97.
But the asset here has gone off well, and he's snatched the darts. He's already a point ahead with 3 in hand.
$45.
Getting a little bit jittery for Paul Nicholson is the enormity of what he might be about to achieve starting to creep
95.
into his mind. He's played it cool all day, all weekend. No pressure on me, is what he's been saying. He could just be starting to feel the pinch, and that could be causing the pulls.
58. $97.
For the 3rd time in this game, Goin Price has left himself the biggest checkout in the game. He missed the bullseye for it earlier on. He may not need to actually have a go at it, as Paul Nicholson is struggling.
43.
It is right now.
You require 170.
This is one big leg. The fact that he gave him that breathing space. Does Price go for this? For the 2nd time today.
145.
Well, normally the sensible play would be hit single 10 and leave his favourite double top. But the way it's been going, I'm not really sure it is a sensible play.
$140. Nicholson leaves himself handy just in case here. 1 for double 12 is the choice of route to Goin Price.
And
the
on
outcome
the 9th leg, Goin Price.
is that he's pulled it back.
10th leg is pulled to throw
4-5. And
Game
you
on.
get the feeling that this is the leg for Paul Nicholson. He's had a couple of dodgy visits in each of the last 2 and allowed Goin Price away back into the match. But if he can just calm himself down and find the kind of darts that he's produced earlier on in the piece, and Paul Nicholson still has a chance to get over the line.
With the way they've been throwing, a 14 or a 15 darter, as Nicholson has produced 3 times already in this game, may well be enough.
All of his games today have been dressed in drama. Both his games, should I say, Paul Nicholson. And the first one had a last leg shooter. Is this one going to go the same way? Remember rightly, Cullen had the darts in that last leg.
He did. And Nicholson put in a very solid leg, but it was one that he was allowed to get a dart for the match before Cullen because Cullen messed up his setup shot. Missed a big number and it cost him. Still came back and he had 3 clear darts of the match, could not take them.
Saw Steve West
100.
produce an absolutely world-class last leg against the world champion Rob Cross. Seeded West reaching the semi-finals on the European Tour for the first time. He'll take on Michael van Gerwen. Still to come, don't forget, stay tuned, because Adrian Lewis and Peter Wright are going to go at it after this one.
Yeah, both of them stunning in their third round matches this afternoon. And this tournament, which has got a history of helping
60.
rejuvenate and refresh the careers of big players. Michael Smith and James Wade both won here and went on to make major finals, winning the Masters. James Wade. Gerwyn Price has hit 5 180s, and that might be the most important of the lot. Paul Nicholson needs something big to apply the pressure.
Perfectly timed from Price. But Paul Nicholson is going to produce something big.
140.
Not quite as big, but he's on a 2-dart finish
103.
versus Price's 3-darter.
Great dart. This time, double top. Will it fail him again? No, it will not.
Gerwyn Price.
The Welsh #1 has dragged himself back from the brink.
Final leg, it's Gerwyn to throw first. Game on.
Show of respect from this pair, and drama once again involving Paul Nicholson. All the way to a last leg decider against Joe Cullen, all the way to a last leg decider against Gerwyn Price. Well, that's 180, 103 out, 180 from Gerwyn Price at the business end of this quarter-final. We spoke about Bottle at the beginning of this contest. We said it might be tight, and it looks like it's Gerwyn
140.
who's got the guts and the talent.
My word. Oh, 5
140.
perfect darts. We talked about the world-class final leg from Steve West. This is equally impressive from Gerwyn Price, and to do so, having been 5-2 down, taken out a ton-plus checkout to save his skin. Nicholson has been left on 88, 75 and 50 in the last 3 legs for the match and never been allowed back.
It was 5 perfect darts at the start of this leg, but it was following 6 at the end of the previous leg.
99.
So 11 darts in a row, exactly where Gerwyn Price aimed them. And it's left him on 82 after 9 to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat here, because he was 5-2 down in this tie.
60. Gerwyn Uruguay 82.
Single 17. Double top for Gerwyn Price.
62.
Well, it's evaded him on this occasion, but he's going to be back because Nicholson is a long way back.
Let's have this right. This has been magnificent from Paul Nicholson this weekend. It has been dramatic and high quality and gutsy.
100.
But he has run into Gerwyn Price, who in the last 4 legs has underlined why he was picked for the Premier League.
Looks like a good guide. Well, it's a double-barreled marker to slide alongside, but he's missed it by some margin. Is there another twist in the tail? Another high on the roller coaster that Paul Nicholson has been riding in Gibraltar today?
Surely not. Surely not. But this is tricky
90.
for Gerwyn.
Gerwyn Uruguay 14.
Trickier now that Paul Nicholson has left himself handy. And that's why. And
He
that
hit the double there.
He nearly did. He nearly did. It's all about hitting the double here, because he might not get another chance. And he hasn't hit. And Paul Nicholson, his journey may continue. Has Gerwyn Price, having put himself in a brilliant position to complete a fabulous comeback, fallen at the feet of Paul Nicholson.
That's only just in the 19.
But that's in the double 16.
Nicholson.
6 match starts survived. How has this happened? Nicholson in the semis.
What a story. Paul Nicholson is writing here in the semi-finals for the first time in over 5 years in a PDC ranking tournament. He's ridden his luck at times, but he's been there to finish the job. Back-to-back last leg deciders, having survived match starts, and Paul Nicholson moves through to the semi-finals of the Gibraltar Darts Trophy at the expense of Gerwyn Price. Peter Wright and Adrian Lewis coming up next. The winner of that will face that man, Paul Nicholson. We're all lost for words, so let's hear a few from Nicholson himself talking to Dan.
Paul Nicholson into the semi-finals of a ranking event for the first time in 5 years. You keep winning, I'll keep coming up here and giving you ridiculous stats. This is quite the weekend.
Don't tell me I've got to play again. Jesus, I mean, that was a trail, wasn't it? I said to Gazzy after that match that I was going to get him eventually. I didn't want it to be like that. But that was a difficult game for me. I felt really nervous, and it's because of the aggression that he brings to the game. It's, you know, I'm not one to feed off that anymore. I'm trying to be a new player. And it was tough. I mean, especially with a double 9, double 18. I mean, what was that all about? I'm just glad he gave me the chance. And it was the same as the Joe game. I got a chance and I took it, so, you know, why not?
You were talking earlier on about this just being a free roll for you. You've achieved something, you may have overachieved compared to your expectations this weekend already, but at what point do you start thinking, this might just be the weekend I return to the winner's circle?
When the glass is in my hand, I've got no expectations whatsoever. It was just nice to, you know, win this afternoon and go out with Chris Murphy and Rob Malarkey and Chris Dobie and just have a nice tea. And, you know, I approach the game totally differently now. You know, maybe I should focus a bit more after that. But I'm looking forward to the next game. Should be interesting.
It will be very interesting. Paul Nicholson, the asset, a former major champion in the semi-finals of a ranking event for the first time in half a decade. He will take on the winner of our next game between Adrian Lewis, the two-time world champion, and the world number 2, Peter Snakebite Wright.